I don't think there's anything that's certain in the world at the moment. There's a lot that can change, there's a lot that can happen. And I think that is in the back of your mind every time I'm going into work.
Adult trauma, ETA 5 minutes.
Got an assault coming in. He's stabbed multiple times.
5-year-old hit by a car, dragged for 3 metres, degloved the right side of their scalp. Code red.
They're now saying partial amputation with a traumatic cardiac arrest.
This is just disastrous.
Travel by cow. I can't make that up.
Oh, it's a proper day today, isn't it?
St George's, London, one of Britain's busiest A&E departments, under more pressure than ever.
What are you doing?
It does sometimes feel like a battlefield, and it feels like a losing battle at times as well.
You need to calm yourself down.
I have 10 traumas and absolutely no space.
25-year-old jump from a 3rd floor balcony.
This is the point where we can make a difference.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
A place where life,
Best place to make friends. A&E.
love, and loss
Scariest thing in my life. I thought I lost it.
unfold every single day.
A life is not just a singular thing. Things that happen to you have a huge effect on the people around you as well.
You scare me so much, you know that?
All the patients you're about to see were treated in just one 24-hour period.
I see behaviour every day that reaffirms my belief in the inherent goodness of people.
It's all a bit of a shock, isn't it?
And I think I'm incredibly fortunate to work in that environment.
It's a lot to take in. He's the love of my life.
My earliest memory of Nan, the whole family would get together. There'd be music playing. She loved Elvis. She loved any songs. Every week you'd expect a party. She'd say you can come round any time you like and people would just turn up on the doorstep. But most of all, she was family orientated.
Hello, St George's. Hypotension and lethargy, OK. Wow, OK. Can I just ask, is that a bilateral BP? Do you know? OK, and can I just confirm again, that is 5/6/3/5 for a BP? OK, thank you, bye-bye.
Wow.
Yeah. Adult priority 10 minutes.
A 75-year-old woman is being rushed to St George's with dangerously low blood pressure.
Hypotension, lethargy, 56/35 blood pressure.
When we hear the details of a priority call and we find out that patients are hypotensive, all sorts of things that are going on in your mind as to what could be the cause of that low blood pressure. Common things include bleeding or perhaps infection. You're worried about vital organs. If they don't have a good blood pressure, that means they're not getting an adequate blood supply. And as a result, you can get organ failure or multi-organ failure by having a low blood pressure for a long period of time.
When I got here, she was very sleepy. I said to her, your skin's going yellow, and she started to cry because she knew that meant there was problems with her liver. I phoned the doctor and said, the doctor needs to come and see my nan because she's not very well. I remember the doctor saying to her, you've got to go into hospital for a couple of days. And even through the sleepiness, she said, I think it's going to be longer than that.
She was in a lot of pain, really a lot of pain.
Was that bilateral BP, this hypotension?
Yeah, so we tried on left and right. We can't get the most of the time, but we still have a very kind of weak radial.
OK.
Highest BP we got was 95.
OK.
Count 3, 1, 2, 3.
There we go. We were called to Lillian today. She was sitting there kind of very dazed, dropped her tea, very out of character for her. She's very sprightly. When we got to her, she is explaining this pain that she has on the right side. She says it's kind of like her normal pain because she does have pancreatic cancer, but she's kind of getting to the point where she can't deal with it anymore. So they've given her more morphine. Her sats were very low at 82. They go up and down quite a bit.
And how much food has she had?
300 ml by now.
Okay, fine. With pancreatic cancer, the growth in the pancreas is such that it causes obstruction to things around it. Then it's quite likely that patients will come into A&E with problems that are associated with their cancer. So I think we should treat her for sepsis.
Yeah.
Give her some fluids, give her some antibiotics. We'll get a lactate on her as well. Anyone that presents with sepsis, whether they have an underlying cancer or not, the worst possible outcome would be death. So actually getting those antibiotics in very quickly within the first hour is very important.
Hello, Lillian. I'm going to put another needle in your hand to take some bloods for testing.
Yeah, that's not accurate, that blood pressure. Definitely not accurate. Could try it on another arm.
We've tried the other arm, we couldn't get a blood pressure.
Hello, my love. My name's Fiona, I'm one of the doctors. Are you feeling quite dizzy?
Yeah, we'll give you some fluid and help get your blood pressure up.
It's hard on Grandad because she's always been there. They've never been apart.
I'm quickly listening to your chest.
Lillian is in resus with dangerously low blood pressure and suspected sepsis.
Big breaths.
She's also having treatment for pancreatic cancer.
When I met Lily was 14 and I was 16, and we were friends for about 18 months, and then we got serious. Lillian's family loved parties because we were brought up in the rock and roll era, just like rock and roll. Her and her sister, they used to dance. I never danced. Yeah. When we used to dance, she used to say I was too fast. She liked slower music. You know, she got like the waltz.
You got no pain in your chest, no cough, no breathing difficulty.
Because Lily played the piano, everybody wanted her at the party. She didn't have to have music or anything like that.
Big breaths.
Her father dealt in pianos, and when they used to pick the pianos up, and Lily used to get up in the back of the lorry, he might have 2 or 3 pianos, and she used to have to tell him which was the best one.
You're okay, my darling. They're there. Nothing fell off.
I used to go to her house most nights. Sometimes Lily was out, but got on very well with the family. I was getting a little, I suppose, bored, in a way, because Lily used to go off with a friend, and I said, I'm not going to come up too often, because I'll come up to see you, I'll sit with your brother all night. And she said, ain't it about time we got engaged then? And that was it. We got married in '58 at Wandsworth Registry Office at 10:45. We had 6 children. We didn't want one child. We always said that one child gets spoiled. She brought the children up to respect everybody. All my children, 10-year-old, make their beds, and when they was a little bit older, they all done their washing. When they went to school, on a Sunday night, you have each uniform lined up. I always told her she ought to have been in the army. She was a very good mother to them, and she used to do anything for anybody.
And do you think your tummy is bigger than usual, or is this the normal size? Okay, all right, okay.
Pancreatic cancer, unfortunately, is one of those cancers that we tend to diagnose quite late, because quite often in the early stages of disease, you don't have any symptoms.
It's not particularly painful when I touch. It is. More than usual, or more than usual? Okay.
By tapping a tummy, you can distinguish between air and fluid. Anyone who has a low blood pressure, one of the things you need to consider is, are they bleeding from somewhere?
Hello, do you want to come in, darling? Okay, I'll get you a chair and you can just sit here.
Hello. How long has she been diagnosed with the pancreatic cancer?
6 weeks.
Okay, all right.
About 6, 7 weeks.
And does she have carers helping her with her daily activities, like dressing, shower, and things? Who helps her?
Me.
Okay. Is she otherwise like her usual self, or have you found her more confused?
She's been getting confused over the last week.
Okay, all right.
Please enter a new username.
How beautiful is that?
Carolyn, yep.
32-year-old Carolyn is in A&E with a stiff neck and a bruised face.
So tell me what's happened to you.
So, on Sunday I had a fall and I hit my nose off the table, which is fine, but it's more the stiffness now in my neck.
Okay, so what happened on Sunday? Why did you fall?
Why did I fall? Because I had a few drinks. I was out with the girls.
Okay.
It was like a high table. We were out in a beer garden.
Are we on the table?
No.
Okay.
So it was raining and I slipped on the decking and I fell forward and hit straight. Yeah. I've never been the biggest fan of my nose. If there's one thing that I could change, it's my nose. But that is certainly not a way to go around changing your nose.
It was quite bruised still.
It was a disaster. I work in recruitment now, but my dream was to train as a nurse and then travel the world. And I stayed put.
The stiffness in the neck, when did that start?
That started then yesterday.
Okay.
So I'm originally from Donegal, northwest of Ireland. I moved over here almost 14 years ago to train as a nurse.
Okay, so we'll have a quick look at your feel of your neck first, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's grand.
Have a look at your nose. Any pins and needles or pains down your arms?
No, nothing like that. First placement was working on a geriatric ward. I absolutely loved it. When I first started, I thought I was going to be on, like, you know, that program Casualty. No, it was nothing like that at all. The hours were long. I remember getting up at 4:30 in the morning. You wouldn't be getting home until 9 o'clock in the evening.
So just show me the bit that's giving you the most bother.
It's more here. Part of the reason why I chose England was that I had family that live here. My great aunt, whom I lived with for a number of years. The women, my side of the family, they certainly aren't wallflowers.
So, any pain if I push in the middle?
No. Within Irish culture, your great aunts, they all become like your grannies anyway. It's not like you have one granny, you've got about 10 grannies. I'd come in and my great aunt would be up a ladder. I'd be like, get down from that ladder. And would she listen to me? No. I would go outside and she'd be lifting these large, big plant pots. Not a bother on her. She was feisty. If anyone was to get on the wrong side of her, they would feel it.
Just relax the arm down.
At the time when I trained as a nurse, to me back then, I thought that was going to open a whole new world to me. But there was heartbreak, utter heartbreak.
When people do hit their face, we do worry about the neck because your head gets thrown back. It's like giving yourself whiplash.
Yeah.
Nose. Let me go and get a few bits and pieces and we'll have a little look.
Thanks.
St George's Recess? Yeah, cool, go ahead. Trauma? Yeah.
A 78-year-old man is being rushed to St George's after tripping and falling in the street.
Staff announcement, can we please book in a trauma call for an adult male, ETA 10 minutes, going into recess 8, thank you.
His daughter is in the ambulance with him.
I was due to meet Dad for a coffee about midday. I got a call from him at about 11:15. His exact words were, "I don't think I'm going to make it for coffee. I've had a bit of a tumble, but the ambulance is on its way." I flew into a blind panic and legged it out of the house, jumped in the car. Dad was already in the back of the ambulance by the time I got there. He was in so much pain. I just got in the ambulance and off we went. I could just sort of hear him wincing if we went over a bump. It was very scary.
You're a relative?
I'm his daughter.
Oh, perfect. We'll just get you in the relatives room. So just turn around, we'll come and call you in very shortly. Yeah, just there. Yeah, lovely.
Ready?
So this is Dennis. He's 78 years old. He's had a mechanical fall where he's tripped over the curb. He's then stumbled quite a bit and twisted and then gone side on into a lamppost. On exam, he's got a lot of pain to the right side of his chest. So when he's breathing in, a lot of pain on palpation.
The elderly, their bones are essentially more brittle, so the skeleton is more likely to break, and in doing so, internal organs can be damaged. Let's get primary survey started.
Hello there, my name's Chris, one of the doctors.
Hello.
Just take some breaths in and out if you can. So is it sort of around here that it's very painful?
A little lower.
A little lower. Down there?
Yeah.
Okay, just take some breaths in and out. Yeah, okay. Okay, I'll rest yourself back. There is some inward movements on inspiration.
Okay. When you aren't able to take deep breaths, the bottoms of your lungs can't inflate and deflate fully, which makes infection much more likely. So a seemingly inconsequential injury like a broken rib can be fatal.
Very sore around there too.
Yes.
He'll probably need a CT, but we'll just do an initial film just to make sure we're not missing anything major.
I was worried because my dad's very independent and he doesn't enjoy sitting around not doing anything.
More morphine, okay, mate? Yeah.
He'd had a problem with his back a couple of years ago and was in a wheelchair for a little while.
X-ray BE?
He didn't really get on with it, and I remember him crying. I just couldn't bear to see him in that sort of state again.
Carry one.
Hello. Put on your top. Look, let me
Come on. Yeah, I'm
Just lowering the bed as well, my love, all right?
Her arms don't look so yellow now.
No.
I can't remember the year that we moved in with Nan and Grandad. It must have been around 85. My mum, my dad, and my two brothers and my sister and myself moved in with Nan and Grandad.
Kelly's mum suffered with epilepsy. And Neil said, come and live with us and we can help you look after the children.
My nan became like my second mum, basically. Want to sit down, Grandad?
Yeah.
Do you want to sit down? She's saying, telling you to sit down.
Yes, Mum. Where they put me before?
On a Sunday, Nan would do Sunday dinner for all 11 of us in the house. And then add into that, a couple of years after my aunt moved back in, her partner moved in, so there would have been 12. Grandad used to have a minibus, so we used to go out in the minibus and the music would be playing in the minibus that Nan used to like. We always had family holidays. Going through everything that we've been through, they were very happy memories.
Yeah.
Initial results of Lillian's blood tests have arrived from the lab.
Yeah. Down 27,000. Wow. So a massive sepsis. We don't know where the focus is.
Yeah.
Some of your blood reports are back, and it looks like she's got a infection going on, quite a severe one. We don't quite really know where the infection is, whether it's in her urine or whether it's an infection in the chest, but we're giving her antibiotics to cover for all those. We're going to get a chest x-ray on her. Don't worry, Lillian, we'll sort this out.
Oh, I'm not worried. I had so many things going on.
You are such a fighter.
Doctors need to take emergency x-rays to see if the infection is spreading to Lillian's vital organs.
Yeah, just let you know, I'm in hospital. Do you know, like when you get like the barbecue, like the wooden skewers? One of the kids has kicked one of those into the side of my foot, right? That's gone in like half the way. It was a pure accident. I woke up this morning and my foot's like a football. Listen, I wish it was something a little bit more dramatic, like I'd had a fight with an elephant or, yeah.
Some kind of sea creature. Yeah.
Dennis is having difficulty breathing after tripping on a curb and falling into a lamppost. Doctors have the results of his chest x-ray.
Hello.
The X-ray we've done does show injury to the ribs, and the question really is whether they're broken in more than one place. Well, if you've got a section of it that's separated from the rib altogether, when you breathe in, that bit gets sucked in, and that's why it hurts. That's what I think I can feel on the back there. There's a bit of that rib coming in the wrong way. And we might need to do something about it, but we'll confirm that's what's going on first. So CT scan first.
My dad was an engineer working on parts of mobile phones. Obviously, when the mobile phones were about that big.
We're going to the city. We can take the oxygen off for a second. Thank you.
I'll see you in a few minutes then, Dad, all right?
Let's go slowly.
He was quite a sort of a dapper dresser, you know. He's known for turning up at the pub in a trilby and, you know, Chelsea boots and all sorts of other things.
So we're going flat now?
Yeah.
Really, really slowly?
Yeah, that's when it hurts. Okay, go on.
Bit of a Del Boy's the wrong word, but he does up watches and old cameras and flogs them to his mates in the workingmen's club and stuff. So he's a bit of a local wheeler dealer.
Glide.
My parents met in a pub. I know my mum probably wasn't old enough to be in there.
Breathe in and hold your breath.
They got married about 65, 66. Him and Mum took up the ballroom dancing as something together. It was obviously something he'd been aware of his dad doing. At least once or twice a year, Mum and Dad would go to like the ballroom dance. I can always remember I could smell Mum's perfume and she'd have this sort of like fluffy coat on and her fancy shoes and her dress. And I always used to think how glamorous she'd look. But in my early to mid-teens, they seemed to lead quite separate lives. They're very opposite in a lot of ways. They got together when Mum was very young, and I think by the time Mum was sort of in her mid-20s, they just sort of grew apart.
Shall I sit you up a bit more?
Please.
I remember having a conversation when I was about 14, where I basically said, clearly things aren't going so well. That's when Mum and Dad divorced and Dad moved out. It didn't seem fair on either of them to stay together and not have the opportunity to meet someone else. Oh, you all right, Dad? I can't see him letting you go home tonight, Dad, to be honest.
No.
If you had to buy me from the shop, how much would I have you worth?
I don't know.
Just think of all my services.
In what? There's some that you lack.
No, you're bad.
Contraption.
What is that? What is that? Don't worry. It's nothing scary, I promise.
Carolyn slipped on decking on a night out and hit her face on a table.
I'm just going to have a little look up the nose. Just check. Any pain here? No. Yeah.
With nursing, I got into my 3rd year and I thought, as more pressure was put on you, the more that you saw the workforce was absolutely strained. You need to have a heart of steel to be able to work in that environment, to keep going. Because you fall in love with the patients, these patients that you're caring for day in, day out. Especially when you relate to them, you think of them as your granny or your granddad or your mother, your father, a sibling. But then when they would go, when they would slip away, your heart would just break.
You're doing a grand job of covering up the bruise.
Have I really?
Yeah. Actually, let's have a look at the nose.
I don't think not one person has been in a situation where they haven't seen a loved one in hospital or someone who's very ill.
Sorry. This little contraption's just going to make your nostrils go a little bit wider. I'm not going to...
Okay, that's grand.
Pop up there, it's just a little bit, okay?
Granny, she was diagnosed with cancer. At the start she was okay, she got through it, but then my aunt was also diagnosed with cancer. So there was a lot of over and back between England and Ireland, between my sisters, my cousins, my aunts, to look after Granny and her sister. I think we all just pulled together and we did what we needed to do. My great aunt, she passed not long after my granny. Things that I miss about my granny and my great aunt is their laughter. They were so much good fun. They were cheeky, they were bold, they were boisterous. They were the heart of the home. They were the glue of the family. They were the bond that kept everyone together. And they were, when they went, it certainly left a big hole.
There's nothing kind of worrying. There's still a bit of swelling and bruising there. We'll get you followed up in the nose clinic and you can kind of get the ball rolling then. The trick is keep your neck moving. Right. The stiffer it gets, the more painful it gets, and it's a bit of a spiral, so you need to kind of break that.
So I've been quite lucky then, haven't I?
Yeah.
My great aunt, what I learned from her was that it's okay to do what you want to do, say the things that you want to say, or do what makes you happy. Just be true to yourself. Thank you ever so much for your help today.
Absolutely no worries at all. I'm sorry your night out went a bit wrong.
Oh, I think we still carried on though afterwards.
Lillian, hello. I'm just going to quickly scan your tummy.
Lillian has pancreatic cancer. Earlier today, she was admitted with suspected sepsis.
Feel a little cold in your tummy?
Doctors are trying to find the cause of the infection.
Yeah, nothing, no fluid in there. That's good.
Have you decided what's happening? Have you?
She has an infection. Well, there might be a lot of other stuff going on. So what's going to happen is the medical team are going to come and see her.
When I come in here last, because they brought Robert in here, it wasn't like this, was it? We had 3 girls, and I think our happiest one when she had Robert, who was a boy. He'd been feeling ill, came down the stairs and laid on the floor and said he couldn't go on any further. He hadn't been well in bed. Called ambulance. When we got him to the ambulance, they asked me to stand outside because they didn't think he was going to make it to the hospital. He was diagnosed with pneumonia. I had a ventilator on from Sunday till Thursday, and then they come and asked me if they could turn it off. Robert was born 64 and died in 2014. We had 6 children and we lost 4. So both buried the last 4 children. Yeah.
And the last one was only last year.
Sharon, they called it sudden death syndrome. The next one, which 9 years ago, which was Susie. 10 o'clock at night, she said, I'm going to bed. And 1:30, her husband come in and banged on the door and says, she's on the bed, and we can't rouse her. And she had died the same way.
Sharon passed in 2003, day after Nan's birthday. Then my mum passed the 11th of July 2008. Then Robert passed the 2nd of October 2014. And then Michael passed the 31st of March 2016. It was hard. I mean, they cried their eyes out, but they had to be strong for each other after losing their children before they even passed away. You don't expect your children to go before you. Never.
Can I get you any water or anything? No, I'm sure.
I'm really hungry. Like, really hungry. Might have to open me crisps.
Should we open some sweeties?
Yeah, I was just thinking that. We've gone so far without having any.
We haven't had a chance. What did you get?
Bunnies.
Bunnies.
And mini eggs.
Oh dear. That hurts. Hurts when I cough, hurts when I laugh.
X-rays have revealed Dennis has 3 broken ribs. Doctors are concerned about his breathing and are awaiting the results of CT scans to see if he's punctured his lung.
Just going through my mind where I would have ended up if that lamppost hadn't been there.
Well, at least you may not have cracked your ribs that way.
No.
It wasn't very long before Dad married. He already knew Jackie. It was nice for me to see him again with someone, and, you know, I could see that they were really happy together. They were married for about 12 years before she died. She had COPD. They used to call it emphysema. We were all devastated. You know, I remember him being very upset. It was very sad to see him on his own again. I do remember worrying about the practicalities of the fact that he couldn't cook very well, and I was worried that he was just going to live off ready meals for the rest of his life.
Oh, that's it. Oh, you found us. I don't know what your dad would say about a reverse turn into a lamppost.
Dennis's first wife, Audrey, has come to A&E to see him.
Oh, I tripped on the curb.
The final results of his CT scans have arrived.
Since Dad's been on his own, Mum's felt it appropriate and necessary to help him. My mum would go to see him sort of most evenings after work and have him round for Sunday dinner every week. Just kind of, I suppose, keep an eye on him.
Hello, Peter.
Oh, dear, dear, dear.
I know.
How are you?
Results of playing rugby with a lamppost.
I mean, Mum's partner, Peter, they've been together about 12 years. But I think my mum is still a big part of my dad's life. Over the last few years, Mum's been popping round and doing his laundry and his hoovering.
It hurts if I move my right arm.
Oh, don't.
Don't.
We've got the CT report back.
Yes.
And it shows that you've got a break in the scapula. Now, that bone is almost like the wing bone. That's why it hurts. And you've broken 3 ribs as well.
I made a job of it.
Yes. The bones are quite well placed and they should fix themselves.
Good.
The issue with these sorts of fractures are pain management.
I see.
So you need to come in for a day or 2 to get the pain under control. And we'll take it from there.
Yep, thank you very much.
Mum and Dad have been friends for 50 years, and that relationship, that connection and the history is to my mum, is more important than whether or not they're still married.
Right, you silly old thing. You stay right where you are.
Yeah.
I'm lucky that they get on as well as they do and that we can still have family get-togethers where it's me and Rob and my dad, my mum and Peter. It's just bizarre, but lovely.
Thank you.
Yeah, hello. I'm one of the doctors from A&E Research. I'm seeing a patient named Lillian. Yeah, so she was diagnosed with CA pancreas with metastasis about 6 weeks back.
Doctors are treating Lillian, who has sepsis and pancreatic cancer.
Can I have a quick listen, lovely? Is that all right? Can I sit you forward?
Before last week, she was just taking morphine liquid.
Yeah.
But then they changed it to morphine tablet in the morning and morphine tablet in the night time. January was about the time that she started to get really ill because she started to lose weight and didn't have any appetite. And she was spending most of her time in bed because she was in so much pain with her stomach. And that's when her illness really took hold.
Deep breath in and out through your mouth.
When the doctors first diagnosed her, they said they couldn't give us a time on how long she had left and whether they were able to offer her treatment. The doctor had said last week to her on the phone, after she'd had a blood test, that her liver wasn't right. And then he done another blood test yesterday and he said to her today that it's still not right, so.
She used to be up one day, down the next, up one day, but she seems to be down more than up now.
Yeah, at the moment she is.
I knew she was ill, and I knew she wouldn't last too long. She was in so much pain, and she was taking so much morphine, whether she knew, and, you know.
That's going to happen. I'll go over my own bed. I don't want to stay here.
I'll try and be treated first, Nan, huh?
I would die over my own bed.
See if the drugs work, right? And if not, I will take you home, all right?
You've got to try and see if the antibiotics work, huh?
It's, you know,
We've got to try something. We can't just stop saying no.
I want to go over the other day.
Right, I'm going outside for a little while. All right? Yeah. You all right with her?
He's just popping outside for a little while.
When I spoke to people about what she had, and they said, oh, some of them lived 5 years, right? But what they didn't realise, she'd had it too long.
It amazes me sometimes how resilient people can be. You know, you see people who are at a certain age of their life, it does make you more aware that actually your parents and grandparents are getting older and that actually, you know, things could happen to them that are out of their control. I was very close to my maternal grandmother, and mainly because she actually came over to England to help raise me when my parents were working. There was definitely a period of my life where actually I was very close to my grandmother and, you know, spent lots of time with her. So that had a massive impact on my childhood. Hello, Recess. I was at a very young age and didn't really understand at all what was going on. I just knew that one day my grandmother was with me and that the next day we went to visit her in hospital. She had a brain hemorrhage. And that's when she died. Thanks, bye. She's someone that, when I think of, I remember very fondly. And I often just remember how patient she was with me and how kind she was with me.
Lillian will now be taken to a ward for further observation and treatment.
Don't blow your nose. Keep icing it.
Right. Yeah. Okay, that's grand. Thanks ever so much. Wearing high shoes in the rain, on the decking, highly dangerous. Especially when you've had a few drinks in you.
After about a week or so, he was a lot more able. But my mum, for that period of time, was doing more and sort of hasn't stopped. But I think she's quite happy to do it. Since she retired, she doesn't know what to do with herself. I think that's a problem.
Audrey did the hoovering and the washing up, and she's keeping it up now, even though I'm nearly back to normal. So I'm lucky. But what really came across was avoid playing rugby with lampposts.
She was a fighter. With every operation she had, she fought through everything. And all the pain that she had, she fought through all of that.
Me and Kelly got up there and she was in a coma until, and at 2 minutes to 6, she passed away. Yeah.
It's very strange coming here and not being able to talk to her and just have a general chat. No one can ever replace Nan. I remember the good times. I've learned how to be as strong as my Nan has been and to embrace and enjoy every moment. It's making sure that Grandad's doing okay and everything's all right so that we work as a team.
Neil did say to me, if anything happens, don't shut yourself away. She's still here, right? And we've got to carry on. Yeah, I could get up for Lil, yeah, because yeah, Lil would want me to. Yeah, she would want me to. We were made for each other.
you.